shit.
Okay, guys, welcome to the Revolutionary Pod, episode 6. I'm here.
Episode 6, damn.
Yeah, I'm back with Chris again. Um,
Yes. Got lots to talk about.
yeah, so 2025 is a big year for AI, and there's gonna be a lot of things. I think this year's, it's
It's a
gonna be
big year for AI and job replacement.
yeah, politics as well. Like so many crazy stuff's gonna go on this year, man. So yeah, let's talk about the first major breakthrough of AI, which is sex bots. Did you did you see that thing on?
Yeah, I saw was it the blonde robot with like
Yeah, it's
the
like they didn't call it a sex. You know that convention. What's it called? CES.
I actually didn't know what convention it was. I remember just seeing like a man next to this robot she was dressed up, right?
Yeah. So basically, they called it a female companion. They didn't call it a sex bot. They called it a female companion.
Okay.
But yeah, basically everyone knew it was a sex bot. So there's been like a meme on Twitter for like a few years saying, yeah, like 2025 is gonna be the first year everyone's gonna have sex with robots. It's like fuck UBI. This is what we really need, you know?
It's funny that you say that. I literally was on Twitch like yesterday and I saw some female streamer. She was advertising her AI that's about her, and she advertised it as like you can have like a relationship with it, you can be boyfriend and girlfriend with it,
Yeah.
and then like she's a real AI, so she remembers her boyfriend, so you can't just be boyfriends with her whenever you want. I was like, these kind of relationships are a bit like crazy. Like
Yeah.
what, you're just gonna end up like having a sex robot that you'll like eventually break up with? Like how conscious are they gonna be? Like, you think you're gonna break up with a sex robot?
What about did you see that Johnny Depp scam?
What do you mean?
You didn't see it? It was that there was like a grandma and some guy made an AI Johnny Depp, and then she actually thought it was Johnny Depp, and then he scammed
Hey,
her
I've
out
got
of
to
like
look this up. One sec.
he
You're saying
he scammed her out of like 700K or like a lot of money.
Johnny Depp. You're saying what? An AI, not a robot. Johnny
No, no,
Depp
no.
AI.
A guy made an AI. A guy pretended to be Johnny Depp, right?
Yeah.
And then he was just like, and then he just scammed the granny for like 700K.
Oh, so now it's become like
Yeah, it's like
that's
It's
different.
like why
Like,
didn't we think of that? You know?
61-year-old also addressed the dangers of AI, stating, "Today, AI can create the illusion of my face and my voice." Oh, they're saying Johnny Depp is the 61-year-old. I thought it was, I thought it was the other way around. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Uh,
but that's the real danger. Like, it's only old heads that are actually like endangered by AI. All this regulation, like,
I mean, you say that, but like, if it's getting really good, like, are you gonna be able to like notice if it's an AI or not?
yeah. I mean, I've been fooled a few times. I don't know if you have. Like some images are actually like they're a bit.
The crazy ones, like the ones that like look like it's like a really polished AI, they create a human, and you just look at it and you're like, what?
Yeah, like if not, yeah, you can tell a little bit, but
I know what you mean. Like it's almost too perfect, but like
yeah,
it's getting there. Like the imperfections are getting there.
exactly. Um,
No, but that's crazy.
yeah, but in terms of like job replacement, how
Okay, well, like, do you think we need like universal basic income if like the AI did replace a bunch of jobs, or do you think like people should all just become influencers?
well we need universal basic income for like society.
Yeah,
to
but what if
function.
like more jobs are created to be
But I think that's the biggest hope because what jobs is it going to create? Like,
entertainment, like just more, just as people age, of course right now like people will be out of jobs, but let's just say the new generation as they age and they have kids, what if their kids just become more into entertainment? Because jobs, you're not going to be studying for a job that's an AI is doing nowadays, so what are you going to be studying for when you're a kid?
yeah, but that's my question. It's like, what do you think will be left? Okay,
Entertainment.
this year, I think white collar jobs will be impacted. But I said that last year, so maybe I'm off by my predictions.
I
Maybe
think it'll be impacted in a percentage wise. It's not all obviously, but like
yeah, but doesn't mass unemployment, like unemployment on any scale, cause like fascism? No, maybe not fascism, but doesn't it cause like problems?
yeah, it's
So
going to cause
regardless,
problems.
we're gonna have a problem. You know what I mean?
It's gonna cause problems. I think the worst stage that it can possibly be in is this stage, the start.
Yep. because it's like no one know. Yeah, exactly.
You don't have infrastructure set up. You don't have like, the income side set up. There's not enough people out of jobs for the government to really step in.
But at the same time, it's still hard for them to get a job. It's like the worst of both worlds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, what if people start to get ahead of themselves like right now at the early stages and they start creating? Well, nowadays AI is used to get jobs for people.
Yeah.
So like they're doing the work to a point. Like
As in like the LinkedIn CV writers and shit.
I literally saw a guy that did AI. He created an AI and it literally applied for jobs and also responded to emails, and it like found him like 10 interviews within like a week.
Yeah, it's like how much longer until it can apply for the job and do the job?
Yeah, how much longer until the AI is actually just doing the job?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of happening right now, right? Like even if I was doing certain tasks in my job, I utilize AI.
I mean, it's capable because, like, for example, in the Israel war, how much AI was used, right? Like, they have the AI for flipping drones and shit for weapons, but they can't make an AI that replaces jobs. So when I say universal basic income replace our jobs, I sound crazy, but then when they have AI to like bomb kids, that's fine. Doesn't really make sense, you know what I mean?
I don't even think the universal basic income AI replacing jobs topic is like even crazy anymore.
No, but it is,
was
because
crazy.
when I speak about it, people are like, I get a bunch of hate comments, or people think I'm like I'm crazy, or like it's too far. Maybe it is far, but like how far?
I just think like people are a bit more accustomed to the idea of AI replacing jobs. I see it much more in the media. I think there's people hating on it, yeah, sure, but like I don't think the hate comes with anything substantial. They're not going, "Oh no, this sucks. This is a stupid idea. It's actually going to be like this." No, they're just hating.
Yeah, yeah. But the thing is, it's like it is capable because like I've seen it make fucking picture perfect deepfakes of like flipping King Von, like Hitler, Kyle Rittenhouse. But like when you want it to flipping just do an Excel job, like why is that so hard for them? It's like
That's going to be the easiest job for them.
Exactly. You know, what
Like
I mean?
if AI creates like, let's just say AI creates like art, music, or like even books or anything, like what's copyright going to be like? Is that just the AI's created it and like the company owns that? So the company that creates the AI makes it? What if like Google makes the AI and everyone uses Google's thing?
Yeah.
Do they just own that copyright because they're using the AI? I never understood that. Like it's like, how is AI even going to work when it comes to like the creative industry? Because people are going to use it for music and shit like that. Like, is it just about like if you own that AI and you create good AI, then you make profit off that AI? Like, how are you gonna make money off AI?
There's so many questions. But the thing is, it's like some people right now, I don't know if you've seen them on YouTube. They're doing like pyramid schemes for AI. Like AI, join this AI agency. You know what I mean? Have you seen them on YouTube?
No. For what?
Like people who make like YouTube videos, like AI agencies. Like, you know how back in the day they used to do like marketing agency, like these pyramid schemes.
Yeah.
People like
Yeah,
Iman
yeah.
Gadzhi and that. So they do like these pyramid schemes now with AI, but I'm telling you guys, like they're selling you dreams, man. I swear to God, they're selling you dreams. Like the only truth is that AI is gonna take your job, and our best shot is the government giving us money. Don't try and fucking do this rug pull bullshit. Like it's not gonna work. You know what I mean? People aren't gonna become millionaires from AI. You know what I mean? People are saying this AI revolution, you know, get in on it so you can get ahead. I don't think that's what's going on. I think we all kind of have to make a movement rather than get ahead. You know what I mean?
So you don't think that someone could just make a really good AI as an independent person? You think nowadays that these companies are just too ahead? Like
No, yeah. As in, some moment was like, there's no point making like a small AI because we're just gonna swallow you. You know what I mean? We're just gonna swallow you. Like,
yeah, I kind of see that. I mean, I don't see like how you're going to compete with like the AI that's being made by like, Google and all these other large companies, right?
And I mean, these big people like Klarna CEO, he's saying they're gonna stop hiring soon. Flipping Mark Zuckerberg was like, yeah, we're gonna have an AI that's the level of a mid-level software engineer. Nvidia CEO, he said, don't learn to code. You know what I mean? All these people are saying like this is coming.
The coding thing is crazy. I think I recently saw something about you're not gonna you're not gonna need coding language anymore because you can literally just use normal.
It's just natural language. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and the thing is, they don't understand what they're saying. They're saying just casually, we're just gonna have a mid-level software engineer this year, but they don't understand that. Yeah, this causes like 20+% unemployment rate, which causes like societal disarray. They haven't like considered that. You know what I mean? and people, I don't think people are ready. I don't think people understand what's coming. You know what I mean? So
I mean, yeah, like, I mean that will be crazy. Do you think like, do you think we should have like, you know how AI is getting better and better and it's getting even more advanced? Like,
yeah.
do you think we should have like personality to AI, or do you think it's like good to have that distinction, like for society?
What do you mean?
You know, like, there's trying to get it more and more personal.
Mm.
Like, it's like you're
Like
talking to a real
Jarvis.
person.
Like
Yeah,
Jarvis.
yeah, yeah. Is that even like something that's good? Like, what are we benefiting from that? Is it just to break the ice, break the wall, like so people don't feel like they're talking to a robot? Or is it better to just talk to a robot? Like, imagine just being at work and you're talking to an AI robot,
Uh,
but it's like it has a personality and it starts gaslighting you and shit.
yeah, I mean, I think there's, you know, what I mean, it will always be based on what we program it to do.
I think
So
to
it
make
will
us
never
feel
have its
comfortable.
own, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think just to make us feel comfortable, we probably need some personality.
Um,
But I think that's generally like how it's heading. It's getting a bit more like personal
but
nowadays.
I mean, these CEOs, they think that only their like employees are gonna go, but you know, CEOs can be replaced as easily. In fact, like I was gonna ask you a question, like, what do you think is harder, like the job of a manager or the job of a worker?
To replace?
No, like in general, like whose job do you think is harder?
Mm, okay, there's like different types of hard.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
like it's like the same as a family like in a family setting. Is it hard to be a parent, or is it? Imagine you have kids that do chores for you,
yeah.
but you're a parent. You don't do chores, but you manage all your children.
I argue that
What's harder?
the parent is way easier.
It's
Way
easier to be a
easier.
parent.
Yeah,
I mean, that would definitely be a very controversial opinion.
you think so?
Of course, because you're responsible for them. You okay? So mental stress
Mm.
compared to physical labor, what's harder?
Physical labor.
Genuinely, I
Yeah,
mean, some
because it's
people,
boring. Because physical labor is mental stress
but
because
you're
it's
not.
so boring
But
and
you're.
it's so tedious.
But when I was working in more of a physical laboring job, I I found it easier because at least I knew I was going to go to work. I wasn't going to have to think about anything. I didn't have to think about new things to say.
Mm.
Or I just do exactly, pick this up, move this. It's just easy.
Mm.
Physical labor is hard for people that are like obviously widow. I mean, like a bit withering and like a bit more frail, a bit more older, maybe
Yeah,
like people that don't have energy. But mental gets to you, like affects your rest of your day. Like you leave that job and like you're depressed.
yeah, but it's like what these people were saying to these CEOs. It's like, okay, they were taking the side of the worker because they were like, yeah, if it can replace us, it can easily replace yours. Basically saying that the CEO doesn't do shit.
Yeah, but we're talking about different levels of workers. I'm
Mm.
thinking about like workers that are like stocking shelves and shit.
Mm.
But then we can definitely have workers that are like engineers,
Yeah,
and then you have CEOs of those engineers, and they're doing actual critical thinking and doing the
yeah.
labor. Okay, but how do you become a CEO?
I'm not gonna say it's luck. I don't want to be a flipping typical leftist and just be a cop out and just blame everything on luck.
But not every Okay, there are some CEOs that don't even work their way up in the industry. They just have a lot of money and then they create a business and then
Mm.
yeah. But then there are also people that work their way up step by step. They were the worker and then they go up, right? Those people, do you think like, of course, like
Yeah, of course, but I think that's the exception, not the rule. Probably.
yeah, but do you think it's not as common? You think there's more people that are genuinely just like they're just rich and they go into an industry that they never worked up on?
Not rich, but as in, okay, when people say like these people were not born into wealth, it's like obviously they were not born into billions. Like obviously Bill Gates was not born into billions, but he lived in a nice neighborhood. He had the connections around him. He had I'm not taking away from what the hard work he's done. Obviously he's made a great product and stuff, but I'm saying it's both. You need the you know what I'm saying? You need the things to be in place and you also need
Yeah, you need an element of luck,
Yep.
and then you also need the hard work. But if you put like if you put 1 million people in his circumstance,
Mm. Yeah, maybe he
Like,
probably not all of them would. Yeah,
I
make
would
it.
still think there's a very small
Yeah.
minority of people.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I agree. You
No,
have
no,
to
I
have an
agree.
element of luck. You can't be like a starving person in like a third world country
exactly.
and then be able to do what
It's
Bill
like
Gates is
imagine
doing.
going to Congo and just handing a bunch of like self-help books out. Like
Yeah,
obviously,
like you can do what I'm doing, like kind of thing. Like,
Yeah,
oh, you could
literally,
be
like,
me.
You like there's
Can you?
only you know what I mean. It can only go so far before you have to question like the systemic issues. You know what I mean?
Okay, but yeah, no. To answer your question, like, is it harder? I think it's harder to be a worker, yes, but I think for you to be a CEO, you have to be a worker. So it's like such a it's almost like a paradox. Like,
Yeah, but for example, for in your jobs that you've worked at, did you like personally from the jobs I worked at? There's always this gossip culture among the workers that
yeah,
like the manager doesn't do shit. You know what I
yes,
mean?
100%, 100%.
You know what I mean? But at my current job is not the case. It's actually the opposite. But I'm saying in some jobs,
Yeah, no, but
yeah,
like every time I look at the manager, I've asked them what did they do to get there? They always go, "Oh, I was doing exactly what you're doing."
Yep.
And I was like, "Well, okay, fair enough."
mm,
But they probably worked harder than me, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely a hot topic, but I would say like obviously like I would say it would be harder to be a worker, but that's the benefit of what you get as a CEO. There should
mm.
be some benefit of owning a company.
Yeah.
Why would you work
But you don't think AI will be able to do the managerial position?
replace CEOs?
Yeah.
I think AI can replace CEOs, but the owner of the company will still be the owner of the company. I mean, you're not gonna have an AI that's gonna go, "Oh, I really want to make a company to make money." Like, no,
Yeah.
that's still a human thing. So there'll still be owners,
Mm.
but I just don't think they're gonna have to really do much. So actually, it's gonna make it even worse for
So
what you were saying.
the rich get richer.
The rich get richer and they have to do less work. It's not gonna piss like people off.
Yeah.
You know how you were saying like, is it harder to be a worker and a CEO? I mean, it's gonna be even easier to be a CEO.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like the
And
first jobs that are gonna go are the
workers.
yeah.
Well, actually, yeah. Then never mind, because the workers aren't even gonna be working.
Mm.
They're just gonna have
In an ideal world,
ideal world some sort of money from the government, right? After taxing the businesses.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to talk about U.S.
Trump?
politics and Trump? Yeah.
Trump, that's crazy, man.
He's literally getting inaugurated right now as we speak.
Yeah. So explain what's going on with Trump then.
Yeah, I mean they're swearing him in. He's got a bunch of questionable people on stage. Bernie Sanders is calling it an oligarchy, like
What does that mean?
as in like people just you don't know what oligarchy is.
No.
Like in Russia how like powerful people just have like immense wealth. It's like they can buy their way to the
Yes.
top.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, like with Elon Musk, how he basically bought the election, or he basically bought his way into power. Like, he spent like almost $1 billion on it. All these.
What does it say about politics when a billionaire like Musk has more influence than like actual like elected officials? Like, isn't that just like, doesn't that just make politics
money
a bit?
talks. I mean, money talks. It's not surprising.
No, it's not surprising.
That's taking capitalism literally. Like,
I've always thought about that though. It's like, isn't that just like kind of?
Yeah. And I mean now I don't know if you saw it yesterday. Trump did he actually promoted a meme coin for.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And I mean, some people are denying it, saying no, he didn't do a rug pull. He doesn't have enough liquidity to do that or whatever. But I think he did a rug pull, bro.
Bro, I legit when one of my close friends mentioned it, he was like, "Oh yeah, he made a meme coin and it doubled over one day," and I was like,
It's like he's already sold like ages.
I was like to him, I was like, surely he's not gonna rug pull, right? Surely the government themselves are not gonna rug pull their
own people,
right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, what am I talking about? Of course they would.
Yeah,
And
they did.
And they
And the majority of Americans voted for this. And Elon Musk did rug pulls. The richest man on earth used to pump Doge.
Yeah, but Elon Musk is a bit like different though, isn't he? Because he obviously he's very wealthy, he's very successful, but he also does things that are a bit he plays video games and he pretends that like he leveled up the accounts and he has this like kind of
Insecurity.
ego. Yeah, it's this like what is it? Like, because it's almost like
yeah, it's crazy.
it's almost like it's like childish in a way, but
Yeah.
like how did he get to his point?
Yeah. It's like, how bullied were you?
No.
But the thing is, it's like I don't want to even talk down on him because I actually like used to look up to him. Like he is cool, bro. Like Tesla's a cool product. You know what I mean? It's just a shame that he had to throw it away just because he's so insecure.
I think
you know what I mean?
I think he's cool. I think there's elements of him that's cool, and there's elements that's like feels like super villainy.
Yeah, but it's like,
kind of.
why does he have to go down that path? Like,
Because
Like,
it's money, though. Surely.
yeah, but it's like also no, but it's not even money because he's the richest man on earth. He doesn't need to do pump and dumps. Like him and Trump don't need money, but yet they're still doing it just for
Okay,
the sake
when you
of
say
like
about
fucking
when you
around.
talk about need, you're talking about like daily life necessity, yes. But these people, to get to that wealth, they're not even thinking about money for need. They're thinking about money for like, oh, it's a game.
Yeah,
I'm getting
literally.
more and more money.
Yeah, literally. That's what I'm saying, and that's one of the limits of like capitalism.
But
I'll be
you
honest.
can't be a bazillionaire without having that mindset. You genuinely like, why would you ever get to that
Yeah,
point?
and that's the problem. Do you not think that's part of the problem? Because we forget that money is meant to get products. Money is meant to get fucking cups. Money is meant to create clothes. All that. We care about the product, but when money becomes about money, we're just lost in this fucking game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, like the stuff that he's doing with SpaceX, don't you think he's going to need a lot of money to do that?
Yeah, of course, but it's like because he needs workers, right?
Yeah.
And that's where AI comes in. But like, I can't just put all of our problems on AI. I know I'm sounding like that. Like I'm just outsourcing everything to AI, but it's like AI is a big thing, man. AI is a big thing.
Okay, well,
There's a reason why it's so hyped.
you know how like politics is a sham, like, or like it kind of seems like it in some ways, right? It's like fueled by money. What if it gets to a point where Elon Musk just ends up like going crazy with the SpaceX thing? Then we end up getting like the journey to Mars as an actual like commercial thing, and then like he just elects himself as president of Mars or something. Like, what is it? How does that like? How's it gonna work in society? Like, imagine. Can you imagine a future where Trump just like and Elon Musk just like kind of take over the world, like almost in like an evil villain kind
Yeah,
of
but
way?
they're already trying to do that because look what they're doing to Greenland, Mexico, Canada. They're saying Canada's going to become the 51st state. And they didn't say they're going to invade it, but Trump literally was like, we're going to use financial force to make Canada the 50.
Financial force. What does that mean? Like,
I
give
don't
them,
know, like
throw
tariffs,
money at them?
like, no, like tariffs. Like if you don't join the US, you're fucked, basically.
Oh.
Like coercion. And also like he's basically, it's like this new fucking global coalition of like colonialism. Like Israel, yeah, you go take the West Bank there. Yeah, we'll go take Greenland there. Yeah, it's just pure like, it's pure like, you know what I mean?
It's modern day, but surely that's been happening for like.
Yeah, but that's what yeah, but that's like we don't regress. We don't look back at
I
torture
know what
methods
you
and be
mean,
like,
I know
yeah,
what you
well,
mean.
surely we should go back to fucking torturing people. No, we need to progress. But the thing is, it's like Elon Musk. He's also interfering in our politics as well, like trying to awaken
Yeah,
the far
that's
right.
crazy.
Do you not
I
see?
saw that on Instagram. That's crazy.
Like he's trying to fucking awaken, and you know, reform actually could win. You know that. You know, reform could really win. It's not a joke. You know that.
Hmm. Do you think it would? Do you think it would win with Elon Musk kind of pushing that kind of?
The thing is, him and Farage fell out.
Yeah, he was basically saying kick him out, right?
Yeah, and now he's trying to like Elon Musk is trying to say like the UK has a grooming gang problem, which I'm not gonna say grooming gangs don't exist. Of course they do, but he's he's
So
exploiting
he's
that little thing and exaggerating.
He's
it
kind
way.
of like on he's kind of buddying with Tommy Robinson, right?
Yeah, he
is.
is. Which is in my opinion, if that actually goes through, it's game over.
Do you think it has anything to do with Israel?
No. That's like anti-Semitic pipeline where they think that Israel or like Jews are involved in everything.
No, because I seen like I see like posts about how Tommy Robinson is involved with Israel quite a lot. Or something.
Yeah, no, he's Tommy Robinson is pro-Zionist, but what's funny is that he's probably secretly just an anti-Semite. Like he probably hates Jews.
You think so?
Yeah, he definitely hates Jews, but because he hates Muslims more, he's like, okay, I support Israel, but I still hate Jews, guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he hates Muslims so much, he's like, do you know what? Like, I need to hate the person that's hating them a lot.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like, okay, I mean, no, I need to side with the person that's hating them a lot. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
But do you think he'll be successful, like in awakening? Like, do you think reform could win
With Trump?
with Elon Musk?
I mean,
like
with
in the
Elon
UK?
Musk?
Yeah.
I remember seeing that post and I was like, what? It would be such a wild. Do you think the UK have gotten to a point where they're like at a boiling point where they just kind of would just go, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, like the riots that we've
If
just
we
gone
don't,
through.
I'm saying if we don't take action, then we can, bro. Like things could go left, just like they did in 1944. Everyone supported Hitler.
Or technically right.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. I'm saying if we don't do anything, there's no guarantee that shit is gonna turn out okay. Especially when AI takes jobs. I think AI takes jobs. Like 20+% unemployment rate is gonna trigger some sort of like mass fucking rage. So something has to happen, regardless. You know what I mean? We're already at basically a boiling point. And
So do you think like, because it actually made me think like, okay, so like as like society is changing, it's starting to change a bit like anti-woke, right?
Mm.
So like the stuff that's happening with TikTok and everything. That's kind of the policies with Trump as well, and kind of Elon Musk is kind of pioneering that. Obviously, that's what he's been doing with Twitter as well. Like, do you think that's gonna be a bad society to be in? Like a society that like kind of lets anything be said. You can say whatever you want. You can have any sort of opinion. Like obviously, the opinions of Tommy Robinson is like
technically that's free speech. He's allowed to
that's
say
technically free speech, and obviously a lot of people like would some people would agree with him. Some people would very much disagree with him. But like, is that like something that you feel like we need? I mean, the direction they're heading is kind of let things be said, let anything be said, right? Don't try and restrict media. That's what they're saying about TikTok, is that they're super favoring the woke side, and they're very very like neglecting like the other sides, right?
I don't want to live in a society where we have to wake up and debate racism or debate rapists. Like, I don't want to sit here and be like, okay, guys, for the sake of free speech, let's discuss, is rape good? Is racism good? No, I want to live in a society where that's just a given. We don't need to debate this shit. Do you understand? So when these people talk about free speech, what do you really mean by freedom? Freedom to do anything? Freedom to fucking just rape and kill?
Well, I mean, like, do you think it's valuable for a community or society to police things themselves? Like, do you think in a culture where certain opinions are shunned by a large amount of people is more influential than it just never been seen before? Like, for example, like imagine on Twitter or whatever, a post about someone being very hateful or saying an opinion that's very very like bad in society, and then everyone just bombards it with comments going, that's disgusting, what are you talking about, all this stuff, right? Imagine that wasn't the case and that comment was never allowed to be shown, right? The people that have always thought about this in the backlines, they never have that kind of like backlash by seeing their opinions being put on the spotlight and getting absolutely like...
I think where you're like, what you're missing is that some people think that like, just because something is false, the majority will stand up against it. Like, you know how George Washington, one of those presidents, he was like, you can fool some people all the time, you can fool one person all the time, but you can never fool all people all the time. I think that's not true. I think everyone, like, there can be a false opinion and everyone agrees with it.
Yes, but like you were talking about like really, really like disgusting things, like for example, like obviously, you know, grape and like you know, really, really bad things that are shunned in society. I think you're gonna have a majority.
Yeah, but why is that? Why do you? I agree. Hopefully that's the case. But
no, I mean,
look at 1945. Like look at 1944. Many of the people in Nazi Germany supported Hitler, and not all of them were by force.
Yeah,
not all of them were by force. So people can look at Israel right now. The majority of people in Israel support Zionism.
Yes, but you're talking about like,
and that's genocidal, like
okay,
things.
But what is that pioneered by? That's pioneered by information being funneled, and you can't see other sides.
True,
right?
But what I'm trying to say is that you're ridding them of responsibility too quick. As in, like, people. It's gonna sound a bit negative, but like some people can be evil. Everyone can be evil.
Yes, I agree.
It's not guaranteed. You know what I mean?
You're saying the majority, though.
I'm not saying the majority. I'm saying it's open. I'm saying they can or they can't be. But don't think that they can't be.
But it can't be a 50-50. That's crazy. You're saying 50% would be the bad. No,
It can even be 80% bad. Like Nazi Germany.
No, I disagree. Like I think information is definitely in Nazi Germany times. Like, did they have the internet? Did they have the information to be able to look at the other side? No, of course not. All they had was the propaganda that was spewed to them. Nowadays, it's you definitely have more information, but it's still being funneled. And you gotta admit, you literally right now are agreeing that funneled information is bad. Information where you don't have a bit more of the both the sides. Of course, things that we all publicly should disagree on, of course that should be bad. But to not let an environment that allows kind of all kinds of information, doesn't that create that kind of funnel? What if the people with the wrong hands have that?
Yeah, but I feel like we just need to ask ourselves the right questions. If we allow everything, then we also, like, it's fucked. You know,
not everything. I mean, obviously, like child porn and stuff like that should not be like allowed on the internet, and that should be policed by the companies that, like, you know, for example, Twitter or like whoever's governing that. But like, I think conversations, as much as, even though like it would kind of annoy me to see a post about something that like I disagree on, but like, I would also think about stuff that sometimes I might say, and then it would annoy someone else, and I'm like, imagine that's not allowed.
Yep.
Can't even have that discussion. There's been so many times where I've had takes and then someone's refuted it and given me really, really good like responses, and it's actually changed my view on things. That won't be allowed though.
Do you think immigrants are the new scapegoat?
What do you mean?
Like, you know that Trump, he announced today at the inauguration, he was like he's gonna do the like an emergency mass deportation, right?
Okay.
So do you think that they become like the new Jewish figure to point the finger at?
It does seem like there's always like a point your finger at someone kind of thing.
Yeah, it does. I mean, but the thing is, it's like they want to deport immigrants, but yet they need immigrant cheap labor, right?
Yeah.
It's like, then we're gonna have this. I don't know if you've been to Dubai. Have you?
No.
Okay, but they're gonna have.
Wait,
this...
you're talking about I know about you're talking about like the slavery that happens in Dubai.
Yeah, as in they have immigrants that do cheap labor, but I feel like that's the new model for the USA. They're gonna just like.
Yeah, I mean, like, what? So that's actually happening?
As in, yeah, they're deporting immigrants. They're gonna do that, the mass deportation. But at the same time, they need cheap labor. Like the USA needs immigrants to function because they need the cheap labor. They need people to do their shitty jobs. So how are they gonna? So they want the benefits and just throw them out. They're just using them.
Well, no, they're expecting their own workforce to then end up doing those shitty jobs. Like, do you think that will happen? I think people that don't have jobs will obviously take anything they can get, but like,
yeah, I mean,
would they work for cheap? You gotta think like, would kids in this country like that grow up in this country?
Have you ever seen a non-immigrant working at the gym?
Would you?
Like, you know, when you go in the gym and the cleaners there.
Oh, you're talking about like that kind of like.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a non-immigrant working there? I was deep in it the other day.
I gotta admit, I don't know. I don't think I've seen that many. I know what you mean.
This is what I mean. There's some jobs that are like reserved for like.
Yeah, like it's like because it's like low paying. And
yeah,
like,
I mean not reserved, but it's like the majority take them up. You know. What I mean?
Because they're more willing. They've obviously traveled from
exactly,
a
but
different
it's like
country.
exploitation. Though they're using that. They're seeing that these guys are like.
No, I agree. I agree. It is
yeah.
exploitation, but I also think because now there is a set standard for how people growing up in this country feel that they should be, especially the young generation, they're not going to want to go, oh, I'll accept that standard. So what? Is that going to basically force these businesses to end up increasing their wages? Is that basically what's going to happen?
Yeah, but then the issue comes when you give everyone a high wage, production obviously goes down because
not a high wage, but like as in like if they do mass deportation of these immigrants, right, that are working these like low paying jobs and they get taken advantage of, it's going to force these businesses to end up increasing their pay, right? Surely, right? How are they going to get staff?
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably a good thing in a way, but it's also a bad
thing. But the thing is, Trump is like this is like a new level of corruption. Trump is like him and the richest man in the world are like locked in, and now they're like reducing tax. They're giving tax breaks for the billionaires. So it's just pure oligarchy. Like he's just.
So they just want the rich to get richer, basically.
Yeah, literally.
That's crazy. It's just their billionaire friends just all in a circle flying on private jets, just
literally
thinking about things to do with it.
I was gonna ask about.
By the way, has Trump said anything about AI?
He said. Other than he said it's like he hasn't said anything crazy. He just said it's like a big technology that's coming.
Do you think he even knows what AI is? Like,
nah, he probably doesn't have like too much. Yeah, but what fails to amaze me is like, you know, when I say this idea of mine, like how AI is gonna take jobs and then the government will give us money and then everyone lives in luxury. What people like, they'll quickly dismiss that, but like at the same time, these same people believe in like we live in a simulation. They believe in like horoscopes. They believe in like all kinds of gods. I'm not saying that's not true, whatever. Like I respect your beliefs, but like it's easier to imagine like dinosaurs than fucking a change to the economic system. That's impossible. No. That's impossible. But when you talk about horoscopes or we live in a simulation or you know what I mean? That's all possible, bro. That's obviously possible. It's like Joe Rogan, all right? Like Joe Rogan doesn't believe in climate change, but he believes like aliens, you know, these UFO theories where like he's high as fuck. Do you get it? He's like so high talking about this shit. But then when you talk about climate change, it's like, oh, climate change. Something's off. Like, why is it easy for him to believe in like the bullshit, but not the real shit? Do you get me?
I mean, yeah. I mean, no, it's true. But like, I think people are like starting to think about these kind of concepts. Like, as in, like, what if we weren't living in a world under capitalism? Yeah, they probably would think about that. Do you think like the obsession with like capitalism is driving us to burning out, like people burning out because of capitalism? And then
Capitalism
like,
is more like a religious movement now. Like, as in, people will sacrifice their whole life. Like, they won't. They'll be like anything for profit, like anything just to get ahead. It's like they'll dedicate their whole lives. It's like they don't even care. They're not even materialistic. Like most of these successful capitalists, like Bill Gates and shit, they don't give a fuck. They're not wearing nice clothes. They're not driving nice cars. They don't give a fuck about this stuff. It's a religion. It's like they do it just for the sake of, you know what I mean? Just for the game. For the love of the fucking game, bro.
if you were playing a video game, you would do what you would. If you want to be really good at the game, you'd do exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, but it's like, why this obsession? I don't understand it. It's like, why this
Because
obsession?
what else?
What else is there to do?
I mean, they've had
good
kids. They've had kids. They've had a family. They have everything else. Because this is the only thing that gives them probably joy in some way.
The thing is, it's like, do you know what post-Olympic depression is?
No.
Basically, it's when, like, you know, Olympiads, when like
When they win big.
yeah, they train like their whole life. They train like 5+ years for like a show, and then they win.
Yeah.
And then after that, even when they win, they come first place. They get really depressed after, because
Okay.
it's like they don't have anything else to do.
Yeah, it's the goal's already been done, right? So you're just depressed. What else are you gonna do?
Like it's kind of like it didn't even matter. You know
But that's
what
what happens with the rich, right? They get everything they want, and then what else do they have? They've completed the game. It's like, imagine you've played GTA, you've completed the campaign, you've done everything you can, and then you have to keep playing the game.
Yeah, but some people say that about like AI taking jobs as well. It's like yes, we live in luxury now, but like, what are we gonna do? But
This
isn't
is
that
what
better than But isn't post-Olympic depression better than fucking struggling and working 10-hour shifts? I don't understand.
I would say it's better. But then you're not no, but it's actually worse, because imagine you didn't even go through the journey of working to do all that. You're just born in a world where everything's done for you already.
Yeah,
That's worse.
but why is that bad though?
Because imagine you haven't played the game yet. Your brother gives you a video game. It's already completed, and you have to play it completed. He's done all the quests.
But you wouldn't know that. But
He's done
we
all
can't
the
compare
quests.
everything to video games.
No, but what I'm saying is, it's very easily understood through that, because he's done all the quests. He's done everything. Aren't you gonna be so bored? You're gonna be so bored. You're gonna be like, what the fuck? I have to go to speak to this NPC, but it's already done. Like, I don't need to do anything. I just reap the rewards. I've got this great sword. I don't need to worry about it. That's gonna be depressing.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be depressing for us, because we knew the struggle before. The people that don't know the struggle, they're
No,
gonna
but
be
it's no. But to be honest, I'd rather live in a world with less struggle. Like, I think the world's already bad. We don't need more.
I
struggle,
agree.
you know
I
what
agree.
mean?
For the people that are obviously in really bad circumstances, the people in poverty, obviously it's gonna be better for them to not be in that situation. But do you believe that there's not gonna be poverty in a world with AI? I contradict that. I don't think that's the case. I think there still will be poverty, because there's going to be people that are not going to be looked after. There's going to be countries that are not going to actually excel through that. There's going to be governments that are going to go, no, we want to make sure that we're still ahead, so you're not going to get the stuff that we're making.
You know what I've realized? You know what causes anger in society? It's not material lack. Like, for example, let's say people in Congo, or like people in like even our countries, there's not that much street crime. You know what I mean? There is obviously terrorism and shit, but there's not that much street crime because people, they're not that angry. You know what makes people angry? It's not material lack by itself. It's comparison. It's, for example, that guy is the same as me, yet we're the exact same, and he has a better life than me. So it's not fair. It's the inequality that makes people angry. Do you understand?
Do people do that in their minds though? Sometimes I'm in public and I go like, oh, like I see some guy in a nice car and he's like, and I'm like, he must have done a lot to get there. I don't have that mindset where I'm like,
listen, there's difference, and I don't want to sound like I'm a jealous guy, you know what I mean? But the thing is, it's like, that's not always the case.
I know, but it's crazy to assume that's not, like.
But a lot of these rich people lie, bro. Like, not all of them. Again, I don't want to take away from hard work, because there is hard work. I believe in hard work. Unlike a lot of left-wing people who are just fucking lazy, I actually do believe in hard work, discipline. All that shit is good. You know what I mean? But a lot of these rich people lie, bro. A lot of them lie.
Yeah, I mean, no, I
Like
agree.
how Elon Musk was like, yeah, my dad didn't have a fucking emerald mine or whatever. Like, that's just
Wait,
like a
what'd you
big
say?
how like Elon Musk was like, oh, my dad didn't have an emerald mine and whatever.
What do you mean? So what? Wait, what happened? No, explain.
I'm
Give me
pretty
the
sure his
law.
dad owned like an emerald mine in like apartheid South
Oh, so
Africa.
his dad was just, he was caked up basically already.
Yeah, yeah, but that doesn't take away from the hard work he's done. But it's like they just, what I mean, a lot of these rich people they just lie. But I don't know, man. I feel like there's nothing really wrong with
I
evening
do,
the
I
playing field.
do, I do agree. Like, if I was in a group of, like, I was in a social event, and some guy was like, "Oh yeah, like, he's really rich," and he just said, "Oh yeah, just like, I was born into this. None
Mm,
of this is." I would look at it and go, but like, there's not really much of a difference between me and you, but
yeah,
you just got born into something. It's like, obviously
yeah,
you're gonna go,
yeah, but no, yeah,
you don't respect his richness as much. But when I meet someone and like they're rich, but then they
mm,
tell me like, "Oh, I did this, I created this, I did," then I'm like, fair enough, because not like it's not like everyone's doing that.
yeah.
There's a difference between the person that thinks of an idea and the person that does it. Like, it's much harder.
Do you want to talk about the Israel ceasefire, Gaza Palestine ceasefire?
Oh yeah, so that's pretty recent, right?
Yeah. So they announced a ceasefire like 2 days ago. Did you see the hostage returning videos?
No,
Bro, they gave them like souvenirs and shit. Hamas gave them like flipping goodie bags and like on the way out.
there's no
And they were like
way.
making jokes. Like the Israeli hostage was like smacking one of the fucking Hamas people like oh,
Nah,
yes.
there's
I
no way.
swear to God.
There's
You
no
can
way.
watch it yourself, bro.
There's no way that's an actual video. You're
I
trolling.
swear. And yeah.
Wait, so you're saying like it's not meme though?
It's
like
not meme,
legit,
it's real. It's real.
legit,
Bro.
not AI created.
No, it's not yeah, great. You can watch it, man.
Because that seems AI. You're talking like, oh, here's some food on the way on the trip there. Oh, yeah, see you later.
Bro, yeah,
Mikey.
literally. That's literally what she did. That's literally what she
Oh
did.
my days! Like, I need to see this shit. I need
And
to
like
see
it's
this
kind of crazy how like Hamas, who I am critical of Hamas, I have a lot of problems with Hamas. I'll be honest. Even the other day I was watching like October 7th footage, and they did actually kill civilians. They did. They really did. Like people that were running away, people hiding in toilets, they fucking killed them. But it's crazy how a terrorist group like that, Hamas, is fucking way more just than an Israeli prison. Like they're fucking making jokes around with them and shit. But the thing is, it's also like Hamas. Okay, if I speak, Hamas did have some correct ideologies at some point. They could have done what they did without killing any unarmed civilians. They could have just taken hostages and shot at soldiers. You know what I mean? And then the world would have had to be on their side. But instead, they had to make it this religious war. You know what I mean? And that's where they lost credibility. IMO. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do think it was handled in a like a bit more of a destructive way. I
Yeah.
genuinely, when I first heard about it, I was like, is that not just like a suicide kind of mission? Like surely that's just
Yeah.
gonna create such a crazy, like they're gonna lose more people than they basically attacked. So
Yeah.
isn't that worse?
Yeah, but it's like it's
Isn't that
kind of like
literally like self harming?
the story of like Jesus, like he died, but like
Yes, but they're not doing it.
but the death itself is like what continues the mission. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. They're dying for a cause, but it's
Yeah.
different. Like, it's innocent people that did they want to die for that cause?
Yeah, no, I agree. You can't
Like,
drag that many people into
that's
it. But the thing is,
crazy.
like, that's who you shouldn't be criticizing Hamas for that. You should be criticizing Israel for that because they're the one killing the kids.
Well, I
They
mean,
could have handled
it's
it way
like it's
better.
like poking a bear and like going, oh, like you shouldn't have done that, but you expect the bear to retaliate. It's like obviously the bear was going to retaliate.
Yeah,
'Cause
but no, because the Israel's not it's not an animal and it has conscience. Like Biden was literally like to Netanyahu. I don't know if you've seen the interviews like 2 days ago. He was like to Netanyahu. Biden was like to him. He was like, yeah, you know that you're gonna you're gonna wipe out families and when you bomb these people, right? He was like, yeah, but you guys did it. You guys did it in Hiroshima. Yeah, okay. Does that just because they did it, does that excuse your fucking savagery? Like, I don't know. Also, like,
do you think people like pick and choose?
and that's how you know it's intentional. He knows, like Netanyahu knows that these families are gonna get wiped out, but he just does it anyway. Yes, maybe he's not being like, yeah, I want to wipe out these families, but he still knows. So that's what we mean by intentional. It doesn't mean that, you know what I mean? Sorry, what were we saying?
Do you think people like are quite selective with like, humanitarian like crises that they kind of like agree on or like think about. Like surely it's like there's so many like things that we've seen over the years that have been very similar to each other, and it's just like a repeating pattern, and it's not like one side is doing that more than the other, right? It's kind of like every side is doing that more than the other. Do you think it's just gonna stop at some point? Like if it's repeating all the time, like is that not just gonna happen all the time?
Again, I like to believe in something called hope. It's kind of rare nowadays. When I
Hope.
talk about people being equality, this like maybe like communist society, whatever, or like stopping wars, people are like, oh, that's impossible. You know what I mean? But why is that impossible? Why? I don't really.
What? As in, like, to have a world where the people aren't doing what they're doing right now, being greedy and like
Yeah,
destructive.
yeah. And the thing is, I'm not even saying we can just like convince them. Like maybe we have to fight. Maybe a true revolution is needed. Like like French Revolution or something.
Whoa, you're
No.
talking about like a
Yeah, maybe.
aggressive revolution.
No. I'm saying if nothing works, so what can you do? You know.
What are you implying, bro? What are you implying?
I'm just saying that like
Listen,
sometimes some battles have to be fought. Some battles have to be fought. You know.
what are you? Why are you using these key words, bro?
These
What
fucking
are
vague
these
statements.
What are these key words?
All I'm saying is that what we saw in the Israel-Palestine conflict is that we saw international law collapse right in front of our eyes. We saw that the UN and the fucking ICC giving these empty gestures. We saw the failure of the world to do anything. What we've learned from that is that if your parents or your family is getting killed, is getting bombed, the world is not going to come and save you, bro.
Do you think like the UN and ICC actually fix anything, or are they just very like expensive, just thinking tanks?
No, that's exactly like they literally just did empty gestures. They just were like, yeah, Israel, please stop. And then let's have a meeting, to have another meeting, this is bullshit. This corporate bullshit. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like if what we've learned is that if there's a fucking tragedy in the world, don't expect the world to come save you. You know what I mean? Don't expect people to come for you, bro. But that's what I want to change, you know. That's what we need to change. Like we need to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, but
know what I
like
mean?
the change is hard. Like you said, change would require some
Collective movement, yeah.
some
But
movement.
why is that? Why is Trump's movement possible? He had fucking the world.
Money. We can't do it with our fists, bro. We gotta do it with money nowadays. That's kind of how it works. Like obviously we can't do the French Revolution thing. Like you'd have to have money. How are we gonna do it? You're gonna have to cheat. Maybe just do a crazy rug pull, but do it on the government. And they buy your coin and you just rug pull them. That's crazy. I mean, like.
Yeah, I mean, even in the war, like the amount of fucking savagery that was there. Like I don't know if you have Twitter, but like, bro, we're seeing like people being starved, people being like starved to the bone, as in like literally bones. Like
Yeah, and the West are like, thinking about their avocado and toast and shit, and then like people are just dying in wars right now.
And like people like in body bags in Palestine, like how do you even justify how? And the world didn't do anything, bro.
Well,
the world
I mean,
did nothing. That's why, in my opinion, the world failed. The world failed on
I think because of how technology is nowadays, because of how information is spread, now when war is happening, we see the brutality of war. I don't think it's any different to any war.
I think it's probably worse because they used more bombs than Hiroshima. That's a fact. Also, you know how small Palestine is? They had fucking makeshift drones. Did you see how they did the attack? They had makeshift drones. They had makeshift weapons. They had no food, no water. And Israel had the funding of the richest country in the world, US, all of Europe, all of Western Europe, and they still fucking... You know what I mean? How is that
What kind of drones are we talking, though?
Bro, I'm talking like these guys had like advanced AI drones.
Oh,
Like AI artificial drones, and then they were like...
Elon Musk drones.
Literally. And like... They had these AI drones, and this is what I mean. Like AI is doing everything except replacing jobs. But I've fucking said that like a million times now.
Do you think like AI and tech is gonna like impact like religion? Like, do you think how, like is religion like built into human beings, or eventually because of how technology is gonna increase, like is religion?
I just hope we don't worship any like robot god bullshit. I'm not on that. You know, what I'm saying?
Robot God, that's, oh, imagine that's the case. No, that would never be a thing. But like, I'm just wondering, like, how built in is religion? Because I'm thinking, is the younger generation gonna even be religious nowadays
Mm.
as they grow up into this more tech advanced AI kind of world?
Mm.
Or are they just gonna kind of like worship other things rather than that? Because it's becoming much more individualistic, and because of religion, I mean, religion is, I mean, if you think about it, the conversation we just had here is technically kind of pushed by religion, no?
Yeah.
Like the Jewish religion, Islamic religion. I
The
mean,
Abrahamic, yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
like,
bro, I think all Judaism, Christianity, and Islam have like really good messages in them. I'm not gonna lie to you, like,
yes, but they've also had a lot of blood on their hands, and
yeah,
like,
yeah, but that's yeah,
so that's what I'm thinking. Like, obviously, it's pioneered. There's religion is a very passionate subject, and this is why people end up doing crazy things
Mm.
because of it. But I'm just wondering, in a world where you were saying, can we imagine a world where this doesn't happen? It would have to be almost a world where people would probably be less religious.
Mm.
I think religion creates that kind of dynamic. Obviously, I'm not saying most religious people would get to that extreme extent. You probably shouldn't.
Mm.
But like, there's always going to be outliers,
Yeah,
and there's always going to be like, that religion kind of creates a mindset where you have to just kind of believe these like rules and look at other people as like, I don't know, kind of affecting you in some way. I don't think the general public think like that. You were
yeah,
saying that people in Israel have this kind of view about like, I mean, the Jewish people in Israel have this view about Palestinian people, right?
yeah,
But like, obviously, like, could you imagine a world where people can be religious and not have this kind of
yeah, yeah.
ideology?
No, no, I definitely believe in like moderate religion. You know what I mean? People who don't really take it that
Yeah,
serious.
exactly. You just said moderate religion. They can't be like.
Yeah, but then there's a problem because that means that they don't really take it that seriously.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like very
So
contradictory.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you can't.
I mean, there's no easy answers, bro. The only way you fight radicalism is with radicalism. You know what I mean? But what I'm trying to say to you is that yeah, this TikTok ban is crazy though.
Apparently, it's gonna be unbanned. I mean, like, that kind of makes sense though.
But did you hear? I don't know if this is 100% true, but I heard that the reason that they banned it is because a lot of young people were going some anti-Israel sentiment. But I don't know how true that is. But I think it is could be true because TikTok is usually more. I don't want to use woke, but like good. Like let's say they have progressive views, more progressive views.
Yeah, it's more work. Yeah,
They
that's kind of what they're like saying is like they want it to be less favored to one side.
Yeah, but it's kind of like I also don't want to log into Twitter, which I do, and just see, maybe the painter was right, because that's
Yeah.
literally all I see right now. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think there should be like, it's really hard to police content nowadays, and like, obviously,
yeah, but it's like surely we have some like
TikTok is
fucking-
probably the most
some
policed.
basic standards like no Hitler support. Maybe that's fine. I don't know, because he is gaining traction. You know that his views are his speeches have like
Yeah,
600K plus likes.
I actually saw that the Hitler speeches were getting a lot of views, and a lot of them were going. The ones that like translated to English.
Yep.
A lot of people in the comments were like going, "Doesn't this sound very familiar?" And it's like
What do you mean? Sound very familiar?
like as in like his views and his like talks about immigration was very similar to how these.
Yeah, but also there's a lot of people saying that like he was right, like he was right.
Yes, because there's people that siding with how these
Like
politicians
degeneracy of culture. But to be honest, the tragedy is that Nazi Germany was way better. Like he did make it better, but obviously he did it using
You mean
ways.
like economy wise or
economy, everything.
not everything?
No,
You're
like
talking-
if you look at footage of Nazi Germany, I don't want to say it, but it's actually beautiful. Like it's clean.
No,
There's
you're
what I mean?
talking about that though. You're talking about like
Yeah.
the
The society. But the thing is, obviously he's bad. No, I'm not agreeing with him, but I'm saying just because he had good parts, he did it at the expense of like world
Wait,
domination.
so you were just literally astonished at why Hitler's gaining traction, and you can also see how.
Yeah, but it's like, no, because it's kind of like I see a really rich palace, but it's built on slaves. Like obviously it's
Yes.
amazing, but it's like what?
It's like the
at
pyramids,
what cost?
right?
At what cost? Yeah,
It's like,
it's like at what cost? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at what cost? But the thing is, it's like I don't know. I feel like there is potential for like another Hitler to come, like another surge of anti-Semitism. Because Zionism like births anti-Semitism, like because they need it to play that game. They need the victim. They need the victim role, and then they need the Zionism to like. They kind of like fund each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think the TikTok ban, or like now it's getting unbanned, but do you think that's gonna like basically make everyone just kind of do that? I mean, if they've just seen that that can happen, they're gonna go, oh, we're just gonna have to basically make sure that everything is the same in terms of free media.
But I don't even know that's why they banned it. I don't even know. I think they banned it because of China or something, no? But what's funny is that when TikTok got banned, people literally moved to another Chinese platform.
You're talking about data.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed like it was about the woke because that's why he's unbanning it. It seemed like it was about the woke stuff, like favoriting one sort of thing
Yeah.
than the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people are saying Trump is the one responsible for it. They're giving everything. They've given all the kudos to Trump. The ceasefire, the fucking he's just the guy saved the world.
Seems like he got elected and now he's just kind of like everything coming to play.
Yeah, but I guarantee you, if Trump was elected and Biden was up next, they would still give it to Trump.
Yeah. Yeah, they'd be like, oh, Trump did that, and then Biden's going to come in later. It's like a laggy kind of thing.
Yeah. But anyway, some interesting things for the future, man.
Some interesting things. I mean, just to kind of like round this off at the end, just like back to the AI sex robots, because it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of on my mind. Just to kind of finish it off, like, do you think like humans would actually prefer like relationships with AI? Because
I think that's the only thing that like, if I was the leader of this AI, I would fucking ban it. Like, that's the only
you think
thing.
that's gonna ruin
I think
everything?
I want everything AI except can we just have relationships? That's all I want. Guys.
But do you think like nowadays people are having less relationships? Maybe they want like an easier AI. Like, hey, like at least you know that the AI is going to tell you what you want to hear.
At least she can just shut up, cook and clean and stuff. I mean, a lot of guys want that just in human form.
Oh my god, yeah, no, that's going to be a really crazy society.
You know what I mean?
2025.
But yeah, it's been the Revolutionary Pod. Signing out.